Hello everyone, Lewis Weber here with Behavior Care. In this segment, we're going to take a look at the TPS Rubric Writer. In TPS, we have increasing and decreasing target behaviors that are usually pretty brief, and the reason why they're brief is because those descriptions need to fit into many places in the TPS application. So in order to reserve that space and for all those words for the increasing and decreasing target behaviors to fit in, we have to limit the number of words that can be used. However, separately, such as in this TPS rubric writer, you can provide a great detail on what a rating of 4 would be, or 3 and 2 and 1, 0. And so this tool is to help you prepare that rubric for your teachers or for your aides or for whomever is going to be recording data for your TPS. Okay, so let's take a look at the tabs that we have here. We have a master rubric increasing, master rubric decreasing, student rating 0 to 4, which is what we're on right now, and a rating of 0 to 3. So let me show you how this is organized. It's pretty easy and it's designed to be customized. So let's click over to master rubric increasing. I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller here so you can see it all. I'm going to scroll up to the top here and you can see we have columns increasing target behaviors, and I have filled in a variety of increasing target behaviors that I have found to be useful, and I hope that you find them useful too. And then what I've also done is written what a rating of 4 and a 3 and 2 and 1, 0 are for each of those increasing target behaviors. Now, these are just beginnings of what we could write, or what you could write if you want to customize these things. So I just gave you a good start here, and you're welcome to use what I have here. And some of these are more detailed than others, and you're welcome to customize this to your heart's content. Do share some of your good rubrics with me so that I can include them in the master rubric file when I send this out to teachers, behavior specialists. But for right now, I'm showing that we have text for each of these target behaviors for what a rating of 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 would be. Okay, so that's how the master rubric increasing is organized, and we do the same organization for the decreasing targets. And so you can see classroom disruption and what it is that a rating of 4 would require in terms of observation of students' behavior. Make that again just a little bit smaller so you can see it all. And as we scroll down, we see some of the popular things that we use as decreasing target behaviors and the rating rubrics that are associated with each of these ratings. Okay, so those are the two master rubric files. Now, when you want to actually create a rubric for a student, you have to decide you're using a 0 to 3 or a 0 to 4. The only difference between these two tabs is the 0 to 3 rubric is going to show only these columns right here, and the 0 to 4 rubric is going to show all of these columns. So let's take a look at it. Let's say we were going to do a 0 to 4 rubric, so I'm going to click on that. And then we see up at the top here, double click the boxes below to select increasing and decreasing target behaviors. So if I double click on that, it brings up this sub menu. And then what I do is select the target behavior that I want. So let's say I wanted to use respect. So I click on respect, and then what this rubric writer does is it looks into the master rubric increasing tab, and it selects the rubric that was listed for that. If I didn't want to use work completed and I wanted to do work independence, I would click on that, and then it puts that into the picture. Maybe I only had 3 target behaviors. Now you can see this was already in the file, but it's just because I had saved it with those selected. If you weren't going to use a particular row, you just click on that and hit delete, and it gets rid of it, and it just leaves it as blanks like that. Okay, so let's say we were going to have those 2 target behaviors, respect and work independent. Certainly those are good things we want a student to do for increasing target behaviors. And we would provide this rubric to the teacher or behavior or aid if there was one, and this gives some ideas as to what a 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 are for TPS. And the same thing for decreasing target behaviors. You see we have 2 listed. Maybe we'd add another one. And if you get that kind of display, it just means that your cursor is low on the list, so you just slide it back up. And so let's say we were going to do a classroom disruption. And so that just pops that right in there. And there's a rubric, okay? And let's say it was going to be for Pete Moss. So I'll click that right there. And then I could do File, Save As, and save the rubric in Pete's folder on my laptop or wherever, and print it. And if we go to print it, it's very handy. And a lot of times it will fit on one sheet, but sometimes if you have selected behaviors that have larger descriptions, it will go to 2 pages. But it's very handy, very clean. You get to see exactly how the rubric is organized for the increasing and the decreasing target behaviors. Now you can't change the text here. If you wanted to make a different rating rubric, you wouldn't do it here. In fact, I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to type in, and it says no, you can't do it here. And the reason why is because these cells right here are selected. They're linked to this master rubric here. You can select the target behavior, and then it goes and finds the rubric items that are listed here. If you want to change these items in some way, you would do that by clicking on the master rubric. So let's say we were going to change respect. So I'd go here to the master rubric increasing. I'll just scroll down to respect, and then I can add some text here if I wanted to, and it would then update my rubric accordingly. Okay, so if you want to change the rubric, feel free to do it, but do it using the master rubric increasing or decreasing, because that's where all this text comes from. Okay, and for the student rating rubric 3, it's exactly the same thing. It just doesn't list that 4th rating column. It's the same text, just stops at 3. Same style, and you decide if you're using the 0 to 3 or 0 to 4. Now we can do a 0 to 1, but there isn't much of a rubric for that because either the behavior occurred or it didn't. Now you can certainly put some of that text in a Word document as to what a 0 or 1 is, but for most people, we do 0. Most BIPs, that is, behavior intervention plans, we do 0 to 3 or 0 to 4. And that's what the rubric is designed to handle. So that's it. That's the TPS Rubric Writer. I hope that you find this useful, and I hope that you take some time to provide more detail in the rubric. That would be good for you, and to share that with me so I can enter your rubrics into the master file for distribution. Okay, well, thanks for participating in this training. Again, Lewis Weber with Behavior Care.